his position today of the Messiah. The Lord of all men, hear me, all men and women, of their will and their property, even of their animals. Now, I know many believers don't believe this because they think that they own everything. And that is, Pastor laughing, it's funny. You don't own anything when you, he owns it. That's all there is to it. What is this saying to you and me? Going to get the animals was a small task, but it was so critically important in the proclamation of Jesus Christ as the King. Yes. This is what he's telling you. What does it say that to you and me, that every mission of the Lord, every task, hear me, every task, every job, no matter how small it is important to God. Yes. God sees everything that you do for this little church. Absolutely everything. And if you clean up one thing out front, God saw it. He made a record of it. This is what it means. This is a small task, but there is nothing small in the eyes of God. Everything is important to him. The only thing that is going to matter in your life when you come to the end of your life is what you do for Jesus Christ. People tell me this, pastor, that many over 40, they always talk about what they should have done or they wanted to do. Is what did you do for Jesus? That's it. Question to you today, why did Jesus ride a donkey? He could have chosen anything to ride on. Jesus donkey on Palm Sunday, it's symbolic fulfillment of prophecy and a declaration of his true mission, of what God sent him here to do. This act directly fulfilled in the Old Testament, Zechariah 9:9, and it prophesied this, that when the Messiah comes into Jerusalem, you see, that's why you can't do away with the old book. You must know what's in that old book. It confirms it in the new book. Yes, amen. The Messiah was coming. He would enter Jerusalem. He would be righteous and he would be victorious. He would be lowly and riding on a donkey. Now you think about that. God, in Zechariah prophesied that a long time before Jesus ever came. By doing this, Jesus publicly announced that he was the long-awaited king, but not in the way that too many people expected. See, in ancient times, rulers rode horses. If you'll ever watch any of the movies, you don't ever see a ruler coming into a battle on a donkey. They come on a what? A horse. Yes. Most of the time, they're at the front. But Jesus was a little bit different. He came in on a donkey, and that donkey symbolized one thing: peace. That's why Jesus came, peace. He didn't come as a warrior to overthrow Rome, and that's exactly what a lot of people thought he was going to do. They got a lot of different interpretations of what Jesus Christ is like even today. Man does, but I guarantee you most of it's wrong. All right. He came as a humble king, bringing salvation to us. The donkey also represented, or it reflected, Jesus' humility. He didn't come in with an arrogance about him and a scepter and say, I'm going to wipe half of you off the face of this earth. He came in humility. And he came as a servant of the Most High God. Unlike the powerful image of a war horse, a donkey was a simple, everyday animal, and they were used by common people. Yes. This choice emphasized that his kingdom was not about earthly power. Jesus' kingdom is about love, sacrifice, and redemption. Amen. You see, this is why you have to have a preacher to preach, because a lot of times we forget that. We want to do is be a little bit more haughty, a little bit more arrogant, do a little bit more what we want to do instead of what the King of glory wants us to do. The disciples paid him, the word is homage. We don't use that word very much, and that word homage means they paid him reverence and recognition. They did exactly what Jesus had asked them to do, despite the uncertainty of the matter. You have to remember this. They didn't have no money to go buy or rent those animals. And I'm sure that they were going to be questioned about why do they want the animals. Would you let some animals go to people without asking why? Of course not. Well, why do you want them? Yet these disciples strictly obeyed, and they did not question, they did not doubt. Many years ago, Pastor and I took off for a weekend, and we went over to the coast to get some rest. And we always go to church when we're on vacation and wherever we are. So Pastor came to me and he said, we hadn't found a church yet where we were going to go. And Pastor said, I have a feeling that the Lord is directing us to go to this little church down the road. Where was it, honey? In Garden City. I said, well, I don't even know where that is. And he goes, well, it's down the road there. And I said, okay, if you feel led of the Spirit, let's go. So we get down there, and they had a motorcycle ministry, right? Mm-hmm. What they were doing with the barbecue chicken dinner. Yep. And so it was quite interesting. And of course, we went in, and they were just so wonderful to us. And it was a wonderful thing. But I'm always looking that when God directs your path, He has you do something. I'm okay, Lord, what's your purpose? You see, as human beings, we want to question everything that God does. Anyway, Pastor and I, to finish, I wonderful. We finally said our goodbyes, and we left. Now that's been